item 4, Federal Law Enforcement Communications Center. Red slivers? Is that correct?
Silver, just like the color within it.
Silvers, okay. I'm reading it was an SLI. Okay. Sorry about that.
Morning, folks. How are you today?
Good, terrific.
Thanks for the opportunity. My shift super and I would like to at least, we're kind of new to this process, and what we do is kind of unique, so we just like to let you know what we're doing over here at SIEC. And how do I work this up here?
Actually, I'm still pulling it up here.
Oh, okay.
We're reorganizing data this morning on some of the data.
Anyway, I've got a slide, some printed slides, so we can go off. FLECC stands for the Federal Law Enforcement Communications Center. It's a regional law enforcement for the entire Southwest for the Department of Interior law enforcement agencies. 24/7 operation, 365. We have a staff of fully staffed. We have a staff of 13 mission support technicians. Not to be confused with dispatchers. We don't take any calls from the public. Maybe we do have a 1-800 number, but it's very seldom we'll get a call on that. The 1-800 number is reporting resource crimes. If they see somebody illegal dumping, things of that nature. But we do take a few calls from the public, but not many. Majority, 99% of the calls are field generated from the officers themselves. Let's see. So our agencies, as far as participating with us, are the Forest Service, Bureau of Land Management, the Fish and Wildlife Service, the Bureau of Indian Affairs, and the National Park Service. There we go.
I'm ready.
Oh, okay. Thank you. There we go. All right. We can catch up here. How do we communicate? We've got a land-based radio system in the state of Arizona that's kind of backboned off of the DPS system, the microwave system. 10 base stations located all around the state with 33 different repeaters. We also have some pretty cool technology with satellite radio, and that gives us the capability to broadcast or provide mission support to any of our law enforcement officers anywhere in the continental United States, anywhere in the world if you just change the beams. But so we cover from let's see, New Mexico, Texas. Greens Peak is a SAT-RAD. It's not a SAT-RAD. It's a satellite backhaul. That repeater has a satellite link that comes back into the comm center, and they just got that up and running. Satellite radio is pretty unique. It gives a real-time, mapping is not real-time, it goes off of like Google, but it gives a real-time location of the officers, gives their speed, heading, altitude, and whatnot. And it's based off every time they key the radio, it'll update their position. We also have the option so we can ping them and find their location. So if they're cruising on the freeway for 3 hours and we want to know where they're at, or they stop for lunch, we can just ping the unit and we can find out where they're at. There's a kind of an overview. It's kind of a, that's the area pretty much where we cover. So we cover from New Mexico way down the south of Texas all the way to Montana. We have a huge, huge geographical area that we cover. It's over 39 million square acres. What is mission support? 2011. They used to be, mission support technicians used to be classified under the 2151 series, which was a public safety dispatcher. But that really wasn't a good fit for the position. So it's been converted to 1802, which is law enforcement, support, and investigative. Scope of work, high-level background clearances. It's called an SSBI. In the private world, it would be considered top secret clearance. Career ladder within the agency and interagency. We struggled with that for quite a while, but we've developed a career ladder over time where we can get someone in on the ground floor, and there's shifts, shift leads, senior MSTs, and in my position. I'm going to turn this over to my shift supervisor because she is the subject matter expert on what we do, so I'll let her, she can explain it better than I can.
Good morning, gentlemen. So what we did with the mission support series is a little bit different. When DPS officers are out in the field, they call in their traffic stops. We do that as well on top of a whole lot of investigative type work for our special agents and our folks at the national level. That's what dictated because that's our scope of work, that dictated the higher level background clearances. What the 1802 did was allow us a career ladder within agency and interagency, Department of Justice jobs, DHS, all of that allowed our MSPs to either move on or to develop within our career within the BLM. Our mission support technicians are responsible, as you saw from the map before, to maintain a knowledge of a very extensive area with multiple agencies. We constantly interact with other federal agencies, state, local PDs, fire departments, pretty much everybody, because we are so out there everywhere. Between Texas, we have the southern tip of Texas, which you can see down the right-hand corner. That's right next to Brownsville. So that's a huge border issue. That's all Fish and Wildlife down there along the border. So we deal quite a bit with that as well. Outside of it, I mean, target shooters, public contacts, recreators, traffic stops. We do have radar detectors. They're all trained. DUI cases we usually turn over to the state because they're better handled, better equipped and better experienced to handle those. But we do make a lot of that kind of stuff on top of our federal laws that we uphold, including the Wild Horse and Burro Protection Act. Any resource protection, cactus theft, ARPA, a lot of archaeological stuff, anything along those lines. Trespass is a huge one in the state. Range is very big as well. Same thing as in Montana. New Mexico, we deal a lot more with oil and mineral rights and mining, that kind of thing over in New Mexico. And then, like I said, Texas is mostly border-related issues in Brownsville, but also a lot of hunting and recreators too, because they have the ocean nearby. So what exactly is mission support? We process criminal justice queries just like everybody else in the law enforcement communication world. We do, like I said, a lot of investigative inquiries. We provide support to and track 200 plus federal officers, canine handlers, and special agents. With that being said, we are also integrate new technology. So we try to stay on the cutting edge as much as possible. Satellite radio was a huge one for us. The other aspect of that is not only technology, but how do we incorporate it with what we currently do, and then how do we expand on it. So we're constantly looking for new ideas to improve in that area. We do a lot of special operations. We support national operations. Anybody in here familiar with Burning Man? Ever heard of it? So we go up there, and our law enforcement is the primary law enforcement up there. It is, if you would have opened up the thumb drive on there, there's some pictures from Burning Man on there. We won't share those this morning, but it's a very huge event. 70,000 people come into the Black Rock Playa and build a city. So I was a key person for that. Last year, went up there and set up an entire mobile communication trailer, and we ran 120 officers, 3 dispatchers, 1 supervisor for 3 weeks, 4,000 events, lots of drugs, lots of other assaults and stuff that we dealt with. So it was kind of taking it out of the comm center and putting it into a mobile environment. That's one special op. Another one we do, like I said, a lot of border stuff here in Arizona and in Texas, not so much in New Mexico. And then we also handle most law enforcement flights for repeater backhauls and other ops with the National Guard. Tell me if you guys have any questions, please. How do we do this? We have a computer-aided dispatch system, and it's kind of archaic in its computer programming, but it serves our purposes pretty well. Unfortunately, the company that supports us is going out of business, so we'll be looking for a new CAD. I spent some time at Tempe Police Department, and I got to look at their communication system as well as their CAD, and so I'll be talking to those guys quite a bit. They seem to have their stuff put together really well. Also would like to take you to our GPS when that's available. So I just give you a good plug.
I just retired from there 2 years ago.
Nice. And so you're you're welcome.
Yeah,
We just installed a Motorola 7500 radio. We plan a digital migration because DPS is going digital. We can go digital, so we're planning that for March. We use a lot of computer programs. I won't get into all of them, obviously, but Esri is one of the ones that we use that seems to be pretty much across the board, everybody uses ArcMap or Esri-based programs. So we try to stay in that realm so we can share data. Web-based programs, our communication center is a central point of contact for all BLM federal officers for when a firearm is confiscated. So we send it in to the ATF. So we work directly with ATF quite a bit on that. And then of course SkyMare is another web-based program that we use to track our officers. So the reason why we're here is because we were invited to participate in the Southeastern Arizona Communication Talk Group. It's going to be a huge benefit to us, obviously because the whole purpose behind it is so that people can communicate. About 3 days before we tested our system, we had a law enforcement involved shooting. And had we had direct comms with Pima County, we would have probably been pretty seamless. I'm going to give props to our MST that was in there as well as Pima County. They got it done and they did a very good job. But having this in place is going to be a super improvement in communications and seamless interoperability operations. So I'm super stoked about being a part of this. We are training our MSTs this Friday on it so that we'll be ready to go on February 1st.
And this is a new acronym, I think, for this body. This is the RICO project, or what we call the RICO project the last 3 years. The CCCG.
I like this.
It was the offshoot of the RICO project.
So we were lucky enough that we got to be a part of it, and our IT folks and our telecom folks were definitely involved in it. So it should give us seamless communications along the southeastern border. So we're super excited to be a part of it. Fred kind of went back through the agencies we provide service to. I'm not sure if anybody that we're going to be talking on that talk group is in this room. So we'll be calling out as BLM, Fish and Wildlife, Forest Service, National Park Service, or BIA, depending on the request. So you might hear the same person calling out as 3 different agencies. That happens. I've been every single one of those. Every time I call someone, I'm like, hey, I'm with the National Park Service. I'm with the BLM. So I've been everybody.
And medication for that.
I know. Schizophrenia really helps with this job. So we, as Fred said too, Arizona, Montana, New Mexico, Texas, and Utah, and then we get requests for service all the time. So Nevada's currently looking at soliciting our office to provide service to them as well. We're the only one of what we do. So, and I'm pretty proud of it, obviously.
Where is your center?
We are at 7th Avenue in Deer Valley, so just south of the Deer Valley Airport. Did you guys have any other questions?
Anything?
Oh, come on, just one. Team you out Burning Man, I don't even care. Thank you guys very much.
Thank you.
Yep.